Willie D. Live.
Well, if the Republicans have so much advantage, what is the incentive for people to vote Democrat?
Well, here's the incentive. The hope is, this is coming from me. My belief is that when we get power, we have to do exactly what they're doing. We have to use it. And the reason we are, and I'm saying we, although I think I can defend my position, but I'm going to say we. The reason we are not in favor right now is because when we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, we didn't deliver. And let me give you the specific examples. I speak truthfully, dear brother, and even when it concerns me in the sense that I'm a Democrat, I still speak truthfully. We were supposed to pass George Floyd justice and policing. That was a big deal. Black Lives Matter movement was a part of that. I mean, we had a commitment to pass George Floyd justice and policing. We didn't. John Lewis Voting Rights Act. If we had passed it, what they're doing now could not be done. John Lewis would address this specific thing, not with specific language, but it would be in language such that you couldn't do what they're doing because you'd have to get these lines approved by the Justice Department. There would be all kinds of things that they'd have to do, but they don't have to do it. Raising the minimum wage, $7.25 an hour is a ridiculous wage. You can't expect anybody to take care of yourself with $7.25 an hour. And if you want to have a family, you surely can't do it with $7.25 an hour. And there are people who work full time at $7.25 an hour. So here's what happened. When we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, we passed these bills in the House. But when they get to the Senate had two senators who were Democrats, but who would not join us so that we could have the majority needed to pass this legislation. That was Sinema and Manchin. Those two senators blocked the passage of the things that I just called to your attention, and other things too. And my position is we should have put maximum pressure on them. I have people who will say to me, we did put maximum pressure on them. But that's just the truth. That's what happened. And when you don't produce, you can't then say later on that we didn't win because African Americans didn't come out and vote in large numbers. Well, you kill the enthusiasm when you fail to deliver. People just don't continue. They say exactly what you just said. Why would we do this if you're not going to deliver? You didn't say deliver, but politics is about electing, selecting, and collecting. If you don't get to the collection, then why do you want me to keep going into the polls for the election part? My hope is that if we get that scenario again, we will do whatever is necessary within the law to make sure that we deliver.
Yeah. How did these school districts deliver this law to suspend homeless children and those who are at risk and those who come from unstable households? How in the hell did a law like that ever get passed in a so-called civilized society?
Shouldn't be there, but we have to remember that this same civilized society, not these people, but this civilized society enslaved people. This same civilized society, after slavery was declared unlawful in this country, they went to convict leasing. We have right down in Sugar Land, Texas, a common grave with 95 people in it, most of them of color. I think there may have been one or two that weren't. And they were convicts, persons who were leased. They had these black codes. They would charge you for being vagrant. Don't have a job? Okay, we got one for you. We're going to put you in jail, charge you for not having a job. You can't pay the fine. Now we'll lease you out to a plantation owner, and you go out there and for the rest of your life you work. So it's slavery by another name. After that, we had invidious discrimination in the form of segregation. Segregation was lawful racism. This is a country that had lawful racism. In my lifetime, I had to drink from a colored water fountain. I had to go to the back door to get my food. I had to go to a separate toilet. The restrooms were segregated. In my lifetime, I've experienced this. Sat in the back of the bus. It was lawful for you to remove me from the bus if I sat on the front seat of the bus. That's what happened to Rosa Parks. She went to jail for sitting beyond the barrier that they had set up for black people. So yes, it's wrong, but we have to realize that the wrongs didn't just start with that. These wrongs have been there, and this is just the latest iteration of the wrongs. Remember, Texas had white primaries. Only white people could vote in the primary. And there was a dentist right here in Houston, Texas, named Lonnie Smith. He took that case all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, Texas, you cannot have white primaries. Okay, but do you know what Texas did after that? Texas said, okay.
They moved the goalposts.
No, right. We're going to have a white pre-primary. So Texas then went into white pre-primary. So the Supreme Court had to say, no, Texas, if you can't have a white primary, you can't have a white pre-primary. So my point is, yes, it's wrong, but this is just the latest iteration of invidious discrimination. But to be more specific, it's a kind of a racist behavior that we have not removed from society, but that we don't talk about.